What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid, give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid right now is down 0.23%, largely piggybacking off of the broader market, but 206 the low, 214 the high. When it came down to the sell-off that happened this morning, similar to yesterday, so yesterday manufacturing data kind of brought the market down because with good data, you don't really need any rate cuts. It doesn't justify that. So, of course, growth stocks didn't like that. Same goes for this morning. We had very good JOLT numbers, and so once again, with good data, you don't really need rate cuts. So this is why a lot of growth stocks essentially are pulling back. But right now, you do see a lot of algorithmic trading really propelling Lucid higher, even though you don't see that much institutional purchasing, so it's relatively quiet. But one thing that is really occurring right now is more and more bullish articles, as well as a lot of big names are talking about Lucid. So I even brought up 2 days ago about Zack. I think he has like 550,000 followers on Twitter, or I guess X. And at the time, he was saying that Lucid is a huge squeeze. Since then, he has gone and reiterated that Lucid is just a massive squeeze. So once again, I think algos are picking up on all of that and really pushing it higher. And most likely, big money is just waiting for one of two things. So Gravity news, which most likely is going to be coming, I would estimate, December the 9th to the 12th, sometime during that time period, or possibly some confirmation from Jaguar about some partnership. So Jaguar did have their kind of unveil. Unfortunately, no word of Lucid, no partnership, but I think every Lucid investor was able to pick up on some of the subtle nuances of range anxiety and just the technology behind the scenes. It's pretty much like a Peter salesman pitch. It wasn't Peter. So yeah, logically, I feel like it's still on the table, but whether it comes to fruition or not, we'll just have to, I guess, wait and see. Aside from that, Lucid did post this, so they have been selected once again as a Car and Driver's 10 Best list for 2025. So yeah, another notch, another milestone, and a good accomplishment for Lucid behind the scenes. But as of today, no official news, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. Shorts are currently returning 311,000 shares. 24.41% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 291.17 million shares overall are being shorted. So kind of interesting, the fact that they are returning is kind of breaking their own trend. So I don't know, this might be just too speculation or out there, but maybe they kind of are afraid of that Zack guy, because he is big, and as I brought up, he was the culprit behind Tupperware, even though Tupperware was a very, very crappy company and it was failing. But he, just by saying it is a massive, massive short squeeze, that caused it alone to go up like 120%. So maybe they're kind of returning in anticipation of that. So just stay tuned. But as far as options go, so I'll quickly go over this. Sorry for the slow internet and all that fun jazz. So I did decide to pop over to England, kind of a last minute trip. So I'm here for a week. So you're going to get this type of style of video, and my apologies for that in advance. But so 342,000 in calls, 1.1 million in puts. 74% of all the options being done are neutral in nature, and both of these right here, they make up all that neutralness. So 522,000 between 9:50 and 9:55 this morning, and then 535,000 or 538 between 9:30 and 9:35. So both of those were selling of $2 puts. So in case you do not know how options work, ultimately, if it is below that $2 strike price by expiry date, which is 17 days from now, that's what those chains are, then they buy the stock at the $2 stock price. If it does close above $2, then they get to keep their premium. So it's kind of a win-win. So yeah, honestly, even though it's categorizing it as neutral, I do see those relatively as optimistic and bullish. And of the call options that were purchased today so far, you see a consensus for it to be above 250. and now you're actually starting to see some optimism for it to be above $5 for March 21st. So I'm not really sure what's driving that and what possibly might be coming out in March, but still that is something to kind of take note of. And right now the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $2. So in my opinion, a little bit more upside still is anticipated with it at $2.12, right below this S1. So you definitely need to watch for it to get above that, fight between at this 213. Aside from that, 209, 204 are going to be support levels. 218, 223 are going to be the next strong kind of target / resistance points for Lucid. So essentially, no point really going over the technicals in all honesty, because it is now, because of today's pullback, below the ALMA. So the technicals look rather crappy, but in order for a short squeeze to happen, technicals won't really have a very big part in it. In my opinion, it's good to kind of take note of some of these strong support and resistance points, so just take note of that. But in reality, if Zack Morris or some other entity, which I think more and more names are starting to talk on Lucid, if they prompt a squeeze, then yeah, it's going to blow past pretty much all the, at least short-term moving averages that I like to look at. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting day, the fact that shorts are returning 311,000 shares and all the other fun jazz. So give yourself a shout out if you are buying, if you're selling. What are you doing with Lucid? And are you rather disappointed that the fact that, I guess, Jaguar didn't come out and say, hey, we actually have a good partnership with Lucid, which is the best technology out there, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that would have been huge for Lucid. But yeah, I guess Lucid investors have always speculated based on a lot of partnerships in the past. So I guess this is just another one of those ones that might get put down, is the TBD kind of file. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you. I did launch a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. A lot of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there to take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.